Ludus Vulpes.
Welcome to Ludus Vulpes. My name's Kirsty.
And I'm Phil.
And you are joining us as we work through our A to Z of board games. For B, we have chosen Bosk.
Bosk is a wonderful game of fallen leaves and majestic walks through national parks and forests for 2 to 4 players.
Beautiful.
The play is very straightforward and very simple. The artwork is spectacular, and you even get 3D trees to play with. During the game of Bosk, you'll be playing it over 4 seasons. In the spring, you'll be growing your trees. In the summer, you'll be establishing who has created the most beautiful paths in the forest. In the autumn, the winds blow and the leaves will fall, and our leaves will scatter across the land. And in winter, whoever has claimed most of the land by scattering their leaves will claim some form of victory. And there's a squirrel.
We love squirrels.
Do we love squirrels?
We do now.
The board for Bosk comes in 3 particular sizes. The 2-player board on one side, and on the flip side of that, you've got boards for 3 and 4 players. During the spring phase, each player will be taking a tree and placing it at an intersection on the board. Now, the wonderful thing about trees in Bosk is they can float on water, which is a fantastic ability that trees have. And we'll be doing, as we move into the summer stage, we'll be scoring our rows and our columns for who's got the highest score. And that score will be the combined total of the value on the trees, which range between 1 and 4. Tactically in the game, we'll be trying to make sure that we block each other from scoring 3 points for having the only trees on the row. So typically, if there's only one player who owns a row and they max out on that will score them 3 points in the summer. If there's a first player and maybe 5 points, and the second player with maybe 4 points, the first player will score 2 points and the second player will score a single point. So in the spring, we'll be putting our trees out and trying to establish a little bit of control over these routes. And this wonderful, wonderful hiker will then walk on those trails and gaze majestically at the trees, and we will figure out a score from there. Oddly, it looks like Kirsty.
I have a green coat, I have those trousers.
And a blue backpack. Yeah.
And the same hair.
So then comes autumn, when the wind blows and the leaves will fall. So in autumn, whoever is starting to play will have the opportunity to place this to give them an advantage. This is the direction of the wind board. And then we will choose trees in turn to blow leaves across the landscape. And we're trying to position our leaves so that we claim the majority in these areas on the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 areas. With this little odd area here where the colour match here, it matches to this colour here. So the areas on the board are the matching colours. And to do that, we'll be placing our leaf tokens. Our leaf tokens range from 2 to 8, and there is a squirrel, which there's a little squirrel counter. When we're blowing leaves across the board, we can pile our leaves on top of other leaves. That will cost us a leaf to do so. I'll explain that as we get closer to that point, because it makes more sense when you see it happening. At both the summer and the winter phase, we'll then score points, and by the end of the game, one of us will have progressed far enough on the score track for one of us to be declared the winner.
Who will it be?
Probably Kirsty. Anyway, as Kirsty's bigging herself up, Kirsty can go first.
No, I wasn't bigging myself up.
There you are. Off you go, first player. You're holding the first player token as well. And the first player token looks like Kirsty, so let's start with Kirsty.
Alright then, so...
Now, it is worth noting that trees cannot be placed on the board edge intersections. I know.
Harsh.
Also, just so people note, the spaces in the centre of the board are broadly more valuable than the spaces towards the edge, because the spaces towards the edge limit the direction in which your leaves can go in the autumn phase. Well, that's a bold move if ever I saw one. Oh, I've maybe changed my mind.
Okay.
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
Are you sure?
Why not?
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. I know that you've got that rotate cell. I know that.
Okay, so now we've placed all our trees. So now a little hiker. Hi, I'm Kirsty.
I don't believe I sound like that. Maybe you could let me know, do I sound like that?
Comes along and gazes longingly at these majestic trees, and we score the first row and no one scores any points. But row 2, we do have some points. So I've scored 4 and Kirsty has scored 4. So that gives us 1 point each. We move on to the next one. And Kirsty scores 6, her 3 trees are here. I've got a 2 and a 1. So Kirsty scores 3 points. Hang on, let me just double check. Sorry, 2 points. Then I score 1 point.
Okay. Next row.
3 and 4, so it's 2 and 1 again. 2 to Kirsty, 1 to me.
2, 1.
Now on to this row where I have the majority, which is 2 and 1. So 1 for Kirsty and 2 to me.
1, 2.
And in this row, it's the same again.
Yeah.
I score 4, Kirsty scores 2.
So
1 to Kirsty, 2 to me. There's no trees here.
And then down the edge.
No trees here.
No.
And then we score this row. I've got 4, Kirsty's got 3, so it's 2 points to me and 1 to Kirsty. We move up again, and that's 6 to me, 3 to Kirsty, so 2
1, 2.
and
1
1.
to me.
Across the centre, I've got 6, Kirsty's got 4, so it's 2 for me and 1 for Kirsty. Across this one, Kirsty has the entire row to herself with a 7, which is just greedy, but scores her 3 points.
1, 2, 3.
The top row, we're both at 3, so we both score a point. And then the last row, I get 3 points.
1, 2, 3.
So that ends the summer phase. We've now taken our...
So spring and summer have shot by.
Yeah, they really have. It's almost like you've been locked in on COVID. So spring and summer are gone. We've taken our walk. We've grown our trees. We've had our walk in the forest, and now the autumn breeze starts to blow. So at this stage, at the end of summer, we look at the scoreboard. The person with the lowest points becomes a starting player and can pick where the wind, which side of the board the wind direction is going to come from.
Okay.
So Kirsty's trying to look. So just so we know how this board works. There's going to be 8 rounds of autumn.
I can't see if the trees are in the way.
And those trees. There's going to be 8 rounds of autumn, and the first 4 rounds the wind will change direction, and then start again. In the first 4 rounds, on the first base, we must pick a tree for the leaf to fall from that is a value 1, 2, 3, and 4 as we progress through. In the last 4 rounds of winter, we get to pick which of our trees they will fall from.
Correct.
Also, the direction of the wind dictates the path we can lay leaves. So leaves will be laid in a path coming from a tree in the direction of the wind. So if we're 1 here, and Kirsty picked this 2 tree, her leaves will be coming out this way into each of the terrain tiles. And we'll show you how that works in a moment. So where are we placing the wind?
So yeah, I think actually after all that, we'll put it back where it was.
Okay, so Kirsty gets to go first as a starting player, and what we'll be doing is playing one of these leaf tokens, of which there are numerous, and that will dictate how many of our smaller leaf tokens we get to place on the board, and we're trying to gain the majority in each of these 8 areas. Each majority will score us 5 points at the end of the game.
Okay. Starts here.
Mm-hmm.
Here. And goes that way.
Wind's blowing that way.
That way. So start here.
There.
Here. Okay. So I'm going to start with two leaves.
Okay. So Kirsty takes 2 of the small wooden leaf tokens.
So don't get confused, I'm going to put that down face down. And I'm going to place them.
So which tree are you picking? So Kirsty's 1 trees are here and here.
There.
So once you've started a route, the next space you can place a leaf is on any of the spaces directly in front, including diagonally.
There.
Okay.
Oh.
And leaves are laid, tree comes off.
So now you're doing your ones that way.
I'm going to play a 6.
Fold. It makes sense.
And this is my 1 tree that I'll be playing from. So I'm going to start here. You can always start in the 2 adjacent tiles in the direction of the wind. Three, 4, and 6. So now the person who played the lowest leaf becomes the first player for next turn. Kirsty played a
I played a
2, I played a 6, so I'm going to discard that and it will be Kirsty's turn to go first.
So now the wind is blowing that direction.
Way. So the wind now blows across the board.
And it has to be from a 2.
Yeah. Oh, and we take those ones
yes.
off the board, which I am very good at forgetting to do.
Yes. So my 2s are here and here. So, kind of messed myself up already. So I can only place 2. Is that right?
What do you mean?
Because I'm here and here.
Yeah.
And I can only place 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that one just gets wasted.
Yeah.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Keep it face up for now. Okay. going to play 5. And I'll be playing from this 2 tree here. So I'm going to be covering one of my own. That doesn't give me extra majority. Oops, doesn't give me extra majority in the area. It just means that if Kirsty wants to take over that space, she'll have to discard 2 fallen leaves before she can. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then that tree comes off.
Okay. So I played the lower one.
You did.
So
You'll be first player again.
I go first player. So now the wind is blowing
Down the board.
I've played this tree rather than this one, it's turned to me. So playing this way from 3. Let's have a look. My 3s are here and here. So I'm going to play 5. There, 2, 3.
Discard 1, 4. So Kirsty's played on here, discarded a leaf because there was already 1 leaf underneath. Now if I want to play onto this pile, I will have to discard 2 leaves before I can place a 3rd leaf on top of that pile.
I'll now take this one away.
Okay.
Over to you.
Play a 4. And I will play from
This one or this one?
This one. 1, 3.
Oh, sorry, yes, because you said 4, it confused me, sorry. 3, yeah.
So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
And I get to be first player.
Yes, you do.
Okay. The wind's now whipping this way across the board. The trees are creaking.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. I'm going to play a 3. Yeah, I'm going to play a 3. Keep it quite simple and straightforward. I'm going to play from this 4. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then 3 to there. 3 to there.
Okay, so now this way from 4s, isn't it? So my 4s are here and no, here and here. Oh no, this is going to be expensive. I feel I've already lost this game before I began.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And where are you starting from?
Just figuring that out. It's going that way, isn't it?
1, 2.
1, discard 1. 1, discard 1. Okay. That's
So,
right, isn't it?
yeah, I played the, don't take that tree off.
Yeah.
I played the lowest one, so I get to stay first player.
Yeah.
How exciting. So, the wind now blows straight up the board, but I can pick a tree of any value to play from. I'm going to play a 2. I'm going to play from this tree here. And very simply, I'm going to play there and there.
Okay. Which tree is one?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take that? Okay, so that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Made life hard for myself here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to play my 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to place 1 there and discard 1. One there. 1 there.
Okay.
And take this tree here.
So I'm still on the starting plane. I have played 2. And the wind now blows this way. So I will play a 7. And I will come from this tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and my last one is wasted.
Okay. So I will play 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll play from here.
So one of the things Kirsty can do playing with the wind blowing this way is you can place it on top of her own token. That doesn't cost you an extra leaf to play on top of your own token.
So 1, 2, discard 1. Actually, put 1 there, discard that 1 there, that 1 there, that 1 there, that 1 there.
Okay.
Take that tree.
So you played 7?
Yes. So you played 8, so you...
No, I played 7 as well.
Oh, sorry.
So the starting player does rotate at that point, so Kirsty gets to go first. So we have both of us that have left our 8 card and our squirrel card.
Yes, we do. So we're now doing this direction. So I'm going to go for my 8 from here, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one, 2.
Why did you not play there? To claim more territory.
Because then you could put yours on top of it.
But it cost me more to do so.
Exactly. So it stops you from doing that.
No, it doesn't. It just spreading out protects you more.
Okay. Because mine's already there, I can put on top of there.
You can, but why would you not cover one of mine?
Okay. That one, that's going to cost me
2.
2. Okay.
So you kind of own that area now.
And take this tree out of the way. So that was my 8 played. You're doing your squirrel or your 8 for this way?
I'm going to do the 8, I think. It's means I've got a very little on with my squirrel. There ain't much happening with my squirrel. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't spread out. That's my 8. and that tree comes off, and the wind will blow this way, which blows, for both of us, will blow a little squirrel out of the tree. Your squirrel moves up to 3 spaces in the direction of the wind, so it scurries down from the tree and comes this way and claims a pile of leaves that are then unclaimable. So, claim that one, because that stops Kirsty getting 8 points for being the only person in that territory.
Why?
Because I've got purple in there as well.
So that stops that entire section.
From you getting 8 points. You'll still get 5 points for the majority, but like for example, this area here currently only has me in it and will score me 8 points. If you put your squirrel there.
But so does this one.
Yes, if you put your squirrel there on top of that little leaf pile, you're the only person in that territory, and that will then score you 8 points and me no points.
But you've got 8 for this point as well anyway.
Yes, but it will only make that won't make a difference. That will give you me 5 and you 3.
Okay. So by me putting it there, I don't quite understand.
So if you put it there, you've got 3 points and I got 5.
Yeah.
And I would have got 8 there.
Right.
So that would have been 5 points for that and 8 points for that for me, which would have been 13 points.
Okay.
And you'd have got 3 points. Okay. However, by going there, you get 8 points for that, and I get 8 points for that.
Should we find out on the scoring?
Let's see what we do. These last 2 trees come off.
Yep.
Okay, so we do majorities now. So we're going to start in the green area. So in the green area, Kirsty has the majority and I've come second, which means she gets 5 points and I get 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3.
And that's that area. Yeah, let's pull those off now. Okay, so the sandy area
is 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So Kirsty gets 5 and I get 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I must have. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'll take these out of the way.
It's a hard fought area, that one.
It was. Thank you. There you go.
So, as already discussed, we come down to this area here, where I am the only person in it, which gives me 8 points.
8 points.
Can I get my 8 points?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I was one behind you, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so
1,
I should
2,
be...
3, 4,
No, I was
5,
one
6,
behind you.
7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Behind me.
I was one behind you, yeah.
1, 2.
No, you don't count the space I'm on.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Oh.
Kirsty's the only person with anything in this area, scoring her 8 points, which puts her 1 in front of me.
Yeah.
The blue area is mine.
Is this all
No,
blue
it's
area?
just this area here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Why is it not that?
Because it's different blue, dark blue, aqua and blue. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 2, so I get 5 points and Kirsty gets 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I just moved me. I get 3. 1, 2, 3. You get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, we come to the red area where Kirsty has 3 and I only have 1, so that gives Kirsty 5 and me 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Moving on to the grey area, which Kirsty wins, giving her 5 points and me 3 points.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
And then the last area, I win, scoring me 5 points and Kirsty 3 points.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Which means, at the end of the game, Kirsty, who apparently can't count, has won by a point.
Yay.
I feel shame.
Oh.
Kirsty, what are your thoughts on the game?
I like it. It's a cute little game. It's quick
Has
and
nothing
easy.
to do with you winning
Obviously,
the first 2 games.
Twice in a row.
Okay. By 1 point both times, I like that.
Yes. I think the artwork is pretty. It's simple but colourful. It's beautiful. And the fact it reflects nature. I like the fact that you go through the seasons. It doesn't drag. It has me in it. I like it because it's quite a quick and easy game actually. It's one of those that you could do pre-dinner while the dinner cooks.
I think so. Yeah, it's the game box has it 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I think you can save for a 2-player game 30 minutes including setup.
Yeah.
Because all your pieces are going to be stored in these little boxes.
Boxes.
All you're going to be doing when you set up to play is taking these out and placing the board. It's a matter of seconds to set up. One of the quickest games I've seen to set up in a long time.
It's nice with the 3D components.
Yeah, and it's nice.
Scribble is a nice little touch as well.
So obvious comparisons are going to be made with photosynthesis because, like, graphically, these trees and photosynthesis trees are very similar.
I haven't played photosynthesis.
This is a much more polite game than photosynthesis. I think photosynthesis is a much more vicious game. I've played some really nasty games of photosynthesis. When I say nasty, I mean I've thoroughly enjoyed them, but they are a 4-player game where actually you're just biting into each other's territory. It happens in this game, but it never feels quite as vicious. You're often thinking about your game, and if you can step into the other player's game, then you do. But a lot of the time, you're just looking at your game and what your best moves are. That said, I can imagine the game will become very quite strategic and quite tactical towards when players get more familiar with it.
Perhaps also if there are more players as well. I think that might have a difference. Obviously, we've only played with 2 players at the present moment.
Just to show as well, on the other side of the board, you've got a much larger map. The 3-player board is designated by the sharp white line, and then the 4-player board is all the way to the full extent of the board.
Which is interesting because that actually only adds like 1 extra row, but
but it's a lot more squares and a lot more intersections. It's quite nice to see a game that plays on the intersections and on the squares as well at different phases of the game. That's quite a nice piece.
Good use of space.
Yeah, good use of space. The wind mechanism is frustrating as hell because you will always end up, or unless you plan it really carefully, you will end up with a tree where you can't, for example, at the end of that game, like sending the squirrels out on their raiding mission.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure about the squirrel mechanic either. It seems like a little sort of late game catch up or late game scupper somebody else. Kirsty's going to like it because the squirrels are cute.
It's cute. I like it because actually it prevents someone possibly having an entire area and 8 points. And although I don't like conflict and like tactical games, I quite like that idea when someone thinks they're winning in an area and you can actually just go, actually, I'm just going to put that little bit of cuteness there. Which is quite
so nice. Apparently conflict with cuteness is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, it's like you can kill with kindness. That's allowed as well.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Bosk. It's a really great little game, 2 to 4 players, half an hour, 45 minutes. I think it's like before dinner game. If you've got friends over, set it out and you can get people playing while you're distracted. And it's not a heavy enough game that people can't join in the conversation from the game. It's a real nice game to play with friends.
I actually think it's a very good introductory game into board games for those that don't want to just play standard board games that are out there that I'm not going to name. But
if you want Monopoly.
No,
Do they not?
We don't do actually in other games. I have family members that play those games. Don't criticise me for that. But I feel that this is a simple enough mechanical game that it's easy to pick up, irrelevant of your age.
Yeah, it's an incredibly accessible game. So if you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to go and get yourself a copy of Bosk.
Yeah, it's
a lot of fun.
Don't forget you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well, and just search for Ludus Vulpes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.